do you think maybe, just maybe, Billy survived and he's still out there in the jungle, just living the good life?
Well, there's a flaw with that theory.
Good morning, everyone. We're coming to you live at my sister's house, and I'm here with my amazing nephew, Alex. Alex, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. Um, a while ago, I had this idea to do a video like reviewing Predator, which is one of my favorite movies.
Absolutely. Yes, one of my favorite as well. I remember seeing Predator probably for the first time around your age in the 80s. I mean, your age when you first saw it. Some might think we were probably too young to have seen it, but I didn't mind. It was one of my favorite movies back then. It's still one of my favorite movies now. So let's dive into this a little bit by just talking a little bit about what did you like about the film? Like when you first saw it, what can you remember thinking about it when you first saw it?
When I first saw it, I remember thinking this is just an action movie. And then when it got more into it, my dad was saying that I would love it for like a month. Um, when I got into it and they got dropped off at the jungle, it started to get intense and I liked that about it. And you could see from the predator's point of view about what like he's seeing and how he's stalking them.
Did you have an idea of what was going on kind of when remember when Hawkins, the first kind of guy who's killed, remember when he was taken? Did you have any idea about sort of just how awesome the Predator was up until that point, or was it still kind of you didn't quite get a sense of how really interesting and amazing this monster was?
I liked the movie up until that point. After that point, after like the second guy got killed, I started to really love it because I can see how like what technology he has and how he hunts.
If you had that kind of technology that the Predator had, would you use it responsibly?
I hope so.
It's a fair answer. That's a fair. I think we all hope so. Which one was your favorite character not named Dutch or Arnold Schwarzenegger? You know, the lead.
Probably my favorite character not being it does the predator count? Not being
It's a
Dutch.
fair question. I'm gonna say no at this point, but we can talk about why the Predator is so awesome in a little bit as well.
Okay. Probably um Blaine, the guy with the minigun. He was
Why?
awesome. Cause he's big and muscular. And also he has a cool attitude. I like it.
Yes, he has the kind of attitude that eventually would lead him to government for the state of Minnesota. Did you know that he became governor of Minnesota?
Yes, I did. And Arnold Schwarzenegger was the government of California.
Did I not say that my nephew was awesome? That's pretty amazing. We did not rehearse that. As you can tell we didn't rehearse. But you can also tell that we didn't rehearse that answer. That's pretty fantastic. Nicely done. All right, so here's my question for you. Let's get a little strategic here. All right, because this is important stuff. Just in case the predator actually becomes real and we have to deal with this. If you thought the predator was coming after you, what would be some of your strategies for how you would deal with that?
If the predator was coming for me, I would not use any weapons because normally, like, he doesn't attack people with no weapons. I would um try to hide. You can't really hide from the predator or run from it. So I would get like far away as possible with a car because I don't think he can run as fast as a car. But he does run fast in the Dylan scene when he gets brutally murdered. Sorry if that's spoiler. If you have not watched it. But yeah, I'd probably just try to get as far away as I can. And try to look in the trees mostly because that's where he is and get in like empty like plains area.
Yeah, I think that's actually a pretty good idea, right? Because most people who have to fight the predator, they kind of have to learn everything from the very beginning again, right? Like nobody ever goes in kind of knowing, oh, I just have to put mud all over my body and nobody can see me.
Yes, I forgot about the mud. Yes, I would use mud also. I kind of do like the old on Schwarzenegger thing. Maybe I'll learn some Boy Scouts if I knew it was coming like in the future. Go to Boy Scouts.
Can you make a bow, you think, and some arrows if you had to?
In my imagination, I could. Like I could like think while I'm falling asleep how to make a bow, try to make it in real life, and it'd fail. But I'll try. It like I would try, I guess, but I don't think it would be successful.
I think you're selling yourself short. I think you could probably do it with enough tries, but this is why we need to hold on to our imagination, right? Even if you just succeed in your imagination, it's still success. Alex, tell me this. Have you seen any of the other Predator movies?
Yes, I have seen the first Predator first. I haven't seen the second Predator. I've seen Predator versus Alien, the one in the temple, and I've seen Predators and Prey. And I think that was it. If I remember another one, like, and I'm missing it, I'll say it. But I think that was the ones that I saw.
So I don't know about you, but I find that even taking Predator 2 out of the equation, I find that actually, I think the first Predator is still the best film of the bunch. And you can tell me if I'm wrong. And I think that that first Predator is probably still the most powerful one of all of them. What do you think?
I agree. I do think that he is probably a very, I think he's up there in one of the strongest. But in Predators, there was the Berserker, which was big, like, and strong. So I don't know if he could beat in a fight or like win in a fight, but I think they're both very close. I don't think I'm going to count the Ultimate Predator, which was in the new Predator film, the Predator one, because that one's like, it doesn't feel like a predator to me. It feels like a cyborg sort of thing. It doesn't feel like a true predator to me.
I agree. And actually, it's funny you mentioned that too, right? Because I thought that film was terrible. Personally, I did not like The Predator. Um, I thought Prey was surprisingly pretty good. Honestly, I thought it was good.
Yeah, I remember I watched YouTube and it was, I just skimmed over it. My dad already said that The Predator was bad and he's never even seen it, but I was just watching YouTube and I skimmed over this one and it said why The Predator is the worst movie. And I watched it and it makes sense. I'd say it's the worst one out of all of them.
You know, I think sometimes what it has to do with is what you respect most about that first Predator is that he's actually really smart. He's a smart monster, and that makes it even worse, right? Because you have to think to yourself, I've got to overcome his technology, I have to overcome his strength, and I have to overcome his intelligence, and that seems like a lot for just a normal human being to overcome. But as the films went on, it seemed to me like the Predator became somewhat dumber as it kept going, and it took a little bit of that, I don't know, a little bit of that fear away from him. What do you think?
I could agree. I think in the beginning he was hunting them and he got he had smart parts after he got a little dumb, but it was like kind of like a rampage sort of through it. But overall, he was really smart. And I think he might have lost a little bit of that during the film, but he still, I think, is smarter than the average human, in my opinion.
You mentioned one of my favorite films that most people tell me is terrible, but I actually liked it a lot, and that was Predators. The one where they get you just begin the movie with all these different characters being dropped onto the island, and they have to kind of figure out what's going on until they finally realize, oh, we're being hunted essentially. I actually thought that that was like my order of favorite films is probably the original Predator. I do like Predator 2. So you'll see that at some point. Um, and then it might be Predators and then Prey. What do you think?
In my perspective, I've never seen Predator 2. My dad doesn't like it. So I've never seen it. But with my order, I think it would be Predator, the number one. And then I think Predator versus Alien and Predators is tied for me.
It's funny. Did you ever see the second Aliens versus Predator film? The one where where they come down to Earth in that small little town. Do you remember that one?
I actually did not. I did not see that one, but I did see some clips from it, and I do know the main predator, Wolf.
I'll just say this for those of you involved with that film: shame, shame on you. You know what you did. That movie was terrible, and you know it. So you should be ashamed, honestly. But we're gonna keep it positive here. So you've mentioned now a couple of times Aliens versus Predator. Were you, and especially that first one where they kind of have that temple, scene, all that. It's really actually quite an interesting story. Who do you think would actually win in a fight if it really happened between the aliens and the predators?
I would have to say Predators. I'm Team Predators. I love Aliens. I've seen Alien, the first one, and Aliens. I love them, but I think the Predator would win because they're more intelligent, they're more smart, and I think that even if like a whole bunch of them were attacking one, he still could use his self destruct device and blow them all up. But also still like use his like shoulder cannon and stuff. But in Alien versus Predator, I remember I got angry at the scene where the big predator, the biggest one, forgot his name, fights the predator that killed his brother. And during that fight, I don't understand why he got killed. I think he would have won in real life.
Yeah, a couple of those fights happen every so often after the first Predator film, even in Predator 2. To your dad's credit, there are definitely flaws in Predator 2 as well. But there are these moments. It's I guess that's what I meant when I said this earlier. That in some ways, after the first Predator film, the character or the monster became a little bit dumber, and it seemed like it wasn't quite as strategic as it used to be. I'll give you an example. As much as I liked the film Prey overall, there was a part of me that just kept wondering, how are you losing? Like, how is this thing losing to us humans? How?
Yeah. And I remember the scene where he's like taking out a shield at the very end and he makes a little like half circle in it and he's like going down to the girl's neck. Why don't just like actually make it full and actually kill her? And also he took like a lot of damage. I don't like in the first Predator he was hunting them and at the very end he took damage like finally. And then like I don't know, yeah. And also I remember seeing a video the the first Predator, like all the other movies after Predator were like got the face wrong. Um and the jaws were different and they were more spread apart because when they're put together like they were in the first Predator, that's how he keeps his saliva from getting out instead of opening it as far as they do and keeping it like wrinkled like the skin. I remember doing that and I definitely think that all of them were less smart because they just went on a rampage and started to kill things instead of actually like hunting like the original Predator did.
Yeah, I thought they kept it. Um, I thought they definitely improved upon the problem a little bit with Prey. Like it seemed like it was a little bit smarter than before. But to your point too, that scene, and I remember which one you're talking about, where he kind of slams her into the tree and then uses the shield. Yeah, there's always that moment where you think to yourself, "What? Why would you? Why are you doing that? Just just kill her at that point, right? I mean, that's what you do. So just do it."
I definitely. Sorry, I definitely agree with that. I do think like, why don't you just kill her if you can, and you know that she's trying to kill you? You know,
Are you ready for my conspiracy theory?
I'm ready
All
for
right.
the conspiracy theory.
One of my favorite characters, and one of your father's favorite characters as well. We, make fun of this all the time. Billy from Predator 1, right? Famously said, "We're all going to die." And Billy's right, of course.
There's something out there, and it ain't no man. We all gonna die.
My nephew. My nephew. Exactly. Here's my conspiracy theory. Are you ready? Technically speaking, even though God rest his soul, the actor who played Billy passed away in real life, technically speaking, we didn't see Billy die. We just heard him scream. Do you think maybe, just maybe, Billy survived and he's still out there in the jungle, just living the good life?
Well, there's a flaw with that theory. I'm sorry, you missed a part. In the trees, the predator takes his vine out,
That's right.
and I
That's
think you
right.
forgot about that. I would,
Did forget about it.
but
That's why you're
also,
here.
I think he also kind of knew it wasn't a human because he's Native American. And back then, during Prey, they were all Native American a long time ago. And I think the myth kind of came up.
You think maybe that somehow that cultural memory, history of it, was passed all the way through to Billy, and that's how Billy kind of had this intuition about it? I think that's really good. I think that's really interesting, actually. Very nice. I did forget about the fact that yes, poor Billy. I mean, you could survive if your spine is torn. Maybe not. Maybe he didn't survive.
Just take some of those leaves that like the girl gave you.
Leaves. Exactly. Put the
Put it in
leaves
his
in.
spine. He doesn't have to walk.
Yeah.
Suck it up. Get back up.
I forgot what it was, right? They had magic things that could make your blood cold, right? Or something?
Yes. Yeah. I do remember that. And then he's like, "Oh, I'm so cold." The guy with like without the leg. And then, oh, sorry. I remember a part. This kind of like includes the dumb thing about the predator in Prey. The arrow comes through and he's about to get killed by his own mask, and he's just like, huh? And then he gets killed. I wouldn't like if he like at least tried to like duck or something, or like even look that way.
He could have tried. He
I
could have
know.
tried to live. That's all we ever ask of a predator, isn't it? Like try to live. You don't want predators coming here who are like, stupid and that, they're just like maybe they. Oh wow, I never thought of this before. Here's my new conspiracy theory. We get only the worst predators that come to Earth. That they're actually way more highly intelligent predators that get sent to other planets with way more intelligent species than humans. And we get the worsts.
There is a flaw with the conspiracy.
All you're doing is killing
Sorry.
your Uncle Joey's flaws. Come on, what are you doing?
Sorry.
What's
No,
the flaw?
there's another thing about their ranking. And normally when they come down, okay, so the prey guy, he was in a good rank. He was like bad. But the first predator was a hunter, which was one of the higher or ranks, and it keeps on going like higher and whatever lower. Oh, and also fun fact: baby predators are called sucklings.
I did not know that.
But the real question: what do they suck on?
We'll leave that one for the audience. Continue.
I don't have anything. You go.
All right. So you had mentioned to me before that there was a, and I had not seen actually the deleted scenes of this, but you have. You've seen the deleted scenes of Predator. Can you talk a little bit about any of the scenes that you thought maybe should have been in the film?
Yes, there was a scene that was really good, and I think it was well made and explaining the predator a little bit. It was of a butterfly, and you want to show them?
I YouTube. I will try to put this in the background while we're talking. So hopefully, don't give me a strike for this.
So, the predator is on this tree, and he's camouflaged, and this butterfly lands on him, and then he like moves or something, and it leaves, but the shape of the butterfly is still there, like in camouflage, and then it like fades away, showing like his camouflage ability. And I really wish they didn't take that out because I thought that was going to be like interesting. But yeah, if you just search on YouTube, whatever, um, deleted scenes from Predator, and then Butterfly, it'll show up. And there's also some other ones, but I think the butterfly scene was the best, in my opinion.
As you were saying that, I was thinking to myself, they have like predator dogs, but like, are you trying to start a whole new genre right now? Predator butterflies?
If I had more movie like making ability, I would make a movie about butterflies that have predator technology.
Frightening.
And
It's a horrifying thought to see that little thing just.
then it goes up to you, and then like you're like, "Oh, such a cute butterfly," and then he's like, "No,"
Yeah, and
and then
that's
he just shoots you, and then you.
it's an awkward conversation as well to have to tell, that like, oh, Ted, yeah, Ted was killed by a butterfly.
I would not believe them at first, and then they show me like the dead body, and then the butterfly like eating it or something, and I'd be like, "Damn, never want to see a butterfly again."
Poor Ted. He never knew what was coming. All right. So let's kind of lead this toward the end here by first telling me if you had to rate this, let's say Predator, between 1 and 100, how close to 100 would you give it as a movie?
As a movie, or in my opinion, how good it was.
Give me both. Give me your opinion score and then give me as a movie score.
In my opinion, like a 98. It was really good, really well made. There were some flaws, whatever, not a lot. I love the movie. The CGI effects. I'm not gonna compare it to this time. I'm gonna compare it to their time because obviously the CGI would be better in our time than theirs. I think it was a very well made movie for their time. Like back then, the CGI was like,
Non existent.
but they still like pulled it off. They did a really good job. I still would give it like a 9.5 for well thing. So no, wait, sorry, 95 because we're doing to 100, not 10. So yeah, like a 95. I think a very well made movie.
95, that's like an A plus. So you can't get much better
Yeah,
than that. Yeah, I'd have to agree. I'd give it, probably around a 95 as well, as far as a film. Um, Last question. Are you have you grown tired of the Predator, or are you looking for another film?
I'm looking for another film
Yeah.
because my like I love the films. I want more of them instead of watching the same ones all over again. So I'm like a little bit out of the Predator phase right now. Um, but if there's a new movie that comes out, I'm back in it. You know, I really hope there is, or like something like that. I feel like that'd be really cool.
I agree. Wise words. I couldn't have said it better myself. Well, thank you for joining us. I'm Joe.
And I am Alex.
Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Wait, I said you too. Why did I say you too? I mean, have a good day.
Have a good day.
Bye bye.